We live in interesting times. Today's stories. Hospital ship defies turbulent waters of Colombia's Pacific coast. Fake heiress cries as she's jailed for scamming New York. Environmental expert urges to stop war on nature for our children. Stars of Aladdin attend European Gala. INC members in Ottawa participate in GLAD cleaning up the Capitol drive. Raptors take on Orlando Magic for Game 1 of the NBA playoffs. And Performing Arts for the 2019 Canadian Screen Awards celebrates film, television, and digital media. This is Eagle News Canada, bringing you stories from around the globe. I'm Archie Rose Natividad Yi. Remote communities in Colombia receive access to medical care thanks to the San Rafael Hospital boat, a floating hospital that travels along Colombia's Pacific coast, providing free treatment to the war-pocked region. Diego Pozo, founding president of the Monte Tabor Foundation, talks about the importance of the hospital boat.
El barco hospital es un eslabón importante en la salud de la costa pacífica porque es la única forma de hacer los servicios especializados, tanto de especialistas de las muchas ramas que tiene la medicina como la parte quirúrgica.
Ha sido a veces difícil llegar a pueblos donde hay enfrentamientos, donde hay bombas, y atender este tipo de pacientes es más difícil que atender la comunidad enferma. Sí hemos tenido casos fuertes, pero nunca nos ha pasado nada.
Family members of patients share their experience with battling sickness in this area of Colombia.
Por la noche llora mucho, rasca entre veces, no duerme. Cuando agotó eso, como quemadura, eso lloraba hasta no comía. Una vez se privó.
Carlos Mello, pediatric surgeon and volunteer in the San Rafael Hospital boat, shares his experience as a surgeon in the San Rafael Hospital boat.
Hay pacientes con muchos problemas, dificultades para llegar ante nosotros, en recorridos largos de horas, 6, 8 horas de viaje en una canoa, vienen ante nosotros y pues, le damos lo que ellos quieren, un poco de nuestro trabajo, y eso la verdad que lo agradecen mucho.
Anna Sorokin, a German-Russian fraudster who tricked New York high society into believing she was a wealthy heiress and stealing more than $200,000, cries as she is jailed for up to 12 years.
But 4 to 12 is a fair sentence. The judge was fair. She considered all of our sentencing memorandums and our arguments. The plea was 3 to 9, so there was no way that there was ever going to be a sentence that was less than the plea. And I think we're both satisfied with the result. Obviously, we would have hoped for less time, but certainly this was expected. She's a strong woman. I mean, she's been incarcerated for almost 2 years by herself in America, in Rikers Island, one of the world's most notorious jails, and held up strong. She's been positive. She's been working with me. And I'm sure this won't be the last time we hear from her. There's a detainer on Ms. Sorokin, so the immigration authorities will take, possession of her once she is released, and she'll deal with whatever the deportation issues are at that time.
The International Association Tropical Forest Alliance makes an urgent call to stop deforestation and adds that if we continue to have war on nature, the future for our children and grandchildren is not great.
And the reality is we have the opportunity. We can transform how we are living more in harmony with nature, but we have to act today, and we have to act with considerably more urgency than we have acted now. So if we continue to have a war on nature and don't recognize that we are actually a part of nature and that we depend on nature, then the future for our children and grandchildren is not great. So the biggest concern is that increase, the deforestation is increasing. And much of that increase is from extensive and illegal cattle, it's from illegal logging, it's from illicit crops for the narcos, and it's illegal mining.
Will Smith says live-action remake of Aladdin has been one of the most enjoyable experiences of my career. And Mina Massoud, who plays the title role, praises the film for getting it right on diversity, as they join Naomi Scott and Guy Ritchie on the red carpet for the European Gala.
I want to hear you make this gentleman feel very welcome. He is the British director responsible for bringing Aladdin to the big screen. Please.
This movie calls for singing, dancing, rapping, acting, with drama, comedy, special effects. It's like everything that I've trained myself to do over the last 30 years being an entertainer, I got to do it in this movie. It's one of the most enjoyable experiences of my career.
I'm very proud of the film for what we were able to do with it. You know, I think Disney really got it right. It might be the most diverse cast ever made, and certainly Disney's ever put together. So I hope people leave it feeling encouraged that people of color and people of diverse ethnicities can lead films and star in films like this and them still succeed and do well.
What was important to me was to take the feeling that I got when I watched Aladdin growing up, and you know, that iconic foundation for me. I didn't want to mess with that. I just wanted to modernize it and humanize her and make her more well-rounded, give her a bit more of a narrative, even more ambition, and that's what I wanted to achieve.
Well, it's a balance, right? You got to give it an injection of life and freshness, but simultaneously respect the nostalgia of the original iconic film. So somewhere there's a balance to be found. I mean, you've got to add some new components in there in order to make it worthwhile.
Up next, INC members in Ottawa participate in Glad Cleaning Up the Capitol Drive. The Raptors take on the Orlando Magic for Game 1 of the NBA playoffs. These and more when Eagle News Canada returns. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You are watching Eagle News Canada. INC members in Ottawa participate in Glad Cleaning Up the Capitol Drive. Sabir Mufti reports.
How do you clean up the environment? With current environmental issues like climate change, waste disposal, air pollution, and water contamination affects people living in this world. The members of the Church of Christ participates in this city's campaign of Glad Cleaning Up the Capitol. Glad Cleaning Up the Capitol campaign is one of the city's initiatives. It occurs in the spring and fall of each year. Residents of different communities come together to make the city clean and green.
Clean up the community so that way we can help make the community look nice. So that way people can all the more appreciate what we do here inside the Church of Christ.
The members of the Church of Christ clean the McFarland Road, picking up litters, debris, cigarette butts, plastics, and waste. Reporting from Ottawa, Canada, for Eagle News, I'm Sabir Mufti, 1 with 25.
Thank you, Sabir. For ABC Sports, the Raptors take on the Orlando Magic for Game 1 of the NBA playoffs. Eagle News correspondent Jarita Di Maculangan with the story.
The Toronto Raptors look to wrap things up here at the Scotiabank Arena with the win over the Orlando Magic to move on to the second round.
It was the first time in franchise history that Toronto was able to enter Game 5 having a 3-1 series lead over their opponent. Though hopes were high for the Magic to force a Game 6, the Raptors were able to come away with the win, beating the Magic 115-96. Despite 5 players from the Magic scoring in the double digits, Toronto never took their foot off the gas at both ends of the court. The Raptors shot an impressive 48% from the field while limiting the Magic to under 100 points. Honorable mention goes to the team's all-star Kawhi Leonard, who scored 27 points. It was perfect from the three, making all 5 of his attempts. Even with dominating performances from their starters, the Raptors understood that it would have to be a team effort in order to put an end to the series. By the end of the night, the Raptors had 34 assists, allowing those coming off the bench to take part in the offensive wealth. Norman Powell and Serge Ibaka combined to score 21 of the 38 bench points for the night.
Just having these guys around me, like Pascal, Mark, Danny, Fred, Serge, Norm, other guys that are not getting as much minutes, it's all of us out there. It's not just me. You can't win playoff games with one player. I said this before.
Leonard's trust in his teammates is an example of what the squad values. Much of this team's success through the regular season has been due to their team-first mentality, and it's no different in the playoffs.
The Raptors' core and depth proved to be too much for the Orlando Magic as they win the series 4-1. Now, the Raptors await their next appointment as they continue their pursuit to the NBA Finals. From the Scotiabank Arena, I'm Zaria Dumakalahan, and I'm 1 with 25.
Coming up, the 2019 Canadian Screen Awards takes Toronto by storm. We'll be right back. This is Eagle News Canada. I'm Archie Rose and TV Daddy. In Toronto, the Performing Arts for the 2019 Canadian Screen Awards celebrates film, television, and digital media. Riza Mangilit reports.
Lights, camera, action. We are here today in Toronto, Canada at the Sony Centre for the Performing Arts for the 2019 Canadian Screen Awards, a special day to celebrate excellence in film, television, and digital media, and the best in visual storytelling that Canada has to offer. There are more than 100 nominations tonight by the Academy of Canadian Cinema and Television. The Canadian Academy constantly looks for, features, and recognizes the country's best content creators and storytellers. Now in its 7th year, the Canadian Screen Awards honors and celebrates the success and achievements in Canadian film, television, and digital media platform.
My one piece of advice is to be proactive, be aggressive. Throw yourself into absolutely everything. There is no role that is too small. There is no part that is too minor. Everything is a learning experience. There's no arrival point. There's only the journey. And I hate to say that because it sounds so cliche, but it really, really is. It's all a big learning experience, and just have a good time with it. Don't take it so seriously.
What's extra special this year is 50% of the nominations across all categories in writing, film, direction, acting, performance are women, reflecting the force women have in telling human stories.
If you are a young actress or actor right now, but especially to the young women, this industry is craving your story. So don't be shy. Make sure you write something, direct something, produce something, get together with your friends, make your own content, right? That's what we need to be doing now.
A few winners of special awards have already been announced. The Canadian troupe The Kids in the Hall, director and screenwriter Deepa Mehta, comedian Mary Walsh, and actor Stefan James. To inspire creativity, develop curiosity, and continue telling authentic stories in diverse voices comprise the vision and values of the Canadian Academy. The Canadian Screen Awards is the one special day when industry professionals across Canada come together to celebrate the art of storytelling. Reporting from Toronto, Canada, I am Riza Mangilit, 1 with 25.
Thanks, Riza. That is this week's Eagle News Canada. Join us next week for stories that matter to you. Visit our websites at Eaglenews.PH and EagleNewsLive.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Twitter.com/EagleNewsPH. Thank you for watching. I am Archie Rose and TV Daddy. I am 1 with 25.